Hi, I'm Kay and I'm the guidance counsellor here at the Dublin Academy of Education. Parents are always getting in touch with me, asking me how they can best help their sons and daughters through the CAO process. By the end of this video, you will have all of the tips and tricks that you will need to make sure that their application is as good as it can be. So the first thing to talk to you about is the deadlines and the cost of the application. The discounted deadline is on January the 20th. If you apply before then, it's going to be €30. The normal deadline for CAO is on the 1st of February at 5 o'clock. Between the 20th of January and the 1st of February, the applications cost €45. People are always panicking that they have to have everything on their CAO by then, or if they don't, they're not going to get the course they want. They don't need to worry about that, because from May the 6th until July the 1st in 2025, the free change of mind opens up. And at that point, students can add courses, take courses off, or reorder their list. There is one exception to that, which is restricted courses, which I'll explain a little bit more about in a minute. Restricted courses is something that you have to consider seriously when filling out the application in January, because if your son or daughter is applying to a restricted course, they absolutely cannot be added to the CAO after the 1st of February deadline. And what is a restricted course? Well, a restricted course is any course that requires anything other than the basic application. So a course that needs a portfolio or an interview or an audition, or in some cases even just a separate application form. And also, obviously, those students that are doing the HPAT if they want to study medicine. Those courses must be on before the 1st of February. They don't necessarily have to be in the order that you want them in, because that can be changed around later, but they have to be on the application by then. Another really important thing to consider is the order of preference of courses on the CAO application. Now, there's always confusion between wanting to put the courses that have the highest points first and the courses that have lower points later on. And there is some logic to that, but the most important thing to consider in terms of how the courses are listed is they must be listed in strict order of preference. So the course that the student most wants needs to go first. This course that they would happily take second, go second, and down along the list. Why is that? It is because the CAO is presuming that your son or daughter is filling out their application according to their preferences. So when the time comes to offer them a course, they will start at the top of their list and they will work down until they find the course for which the student meets the minimum entry requirements and has the requisite CAO points for that course. So strict order of preference is vital. Every year I have parents and students querying this with me, and I just keep saying it back to them: strict order of preference. It doesn't matter if you want to do arts in UCD, let's say. Usually the points for that are high 300s, low 400s, and the course you want second is 500 points in Trinity. It doesn't matter, just put it down in that order anyway, because we never know what's going to happen to points from year to year. As a rule of thumb, the best way to order is the top 3 choices are your dream courses. If everything went brilliantly for you, that's what needs to be down on the CAO, the first 3 choices. The middle choices, maybe 3 to 4 choices, are the courses that are realistic, that kind of align with the types of grades you're generally getting in school. And then the bottom few choices are the backup courses. If everything went really badly for the student, that they could still get those courses. That's the way to do it. The next thing to make sure that your son or daughter is doing is that they know the courses that they are applying for. That might seem obvious, but the amount of students that I know that are putting down courses that they've basically looked at the name of the course and read the tiny blurb, and they're putting it down on that basis. Every student needs to check the entry requirements for their courses. Those are available on every web page for every course, or on Careers Portal, which is a wonderful resource for every single course in the country. Once they've checked the entry requirement, the most important thing to look at after that are the modules on the course. They can be found on any web page for any course under course structure or what will I study. And students really need to know, what am I going to be studying every term of every year of this degree that I'm going to be doing? If they don't know the answer to that, they don't know what they're getting themselves into. Students all the time are saying, oh, my mum, my dad, my aunt, my friend said that I'd like this course. If the student themselves isn't aware of what's on the course, they don't know whether they're going to like it or not. So entry requirements and modules need to be researched really, really carefully. Backup courses, backup courses, backup courses. You should be saying that to your sons or daughters regularly over the next few weeks. Students need backup courses. It's an insurance policy. We wouldn't dream of driving our car without insurance, even though we don't intend on crashing it. The same goes for the CAO application. Of course, students are probably going to get one of their top 3 choices. 80% of students do every year. But we want to make sure that just in case things don't go according to plan, that there are backup courses on their CAO. The rule of thumb for that is there should be something on every student's CAO that they're happy to do that's 30 to 50 points lower than their Christmas tests in 6th year or their mock results. They can be added in May or June if you don't have mock results before you do the CAO application. But I cannot stress that highly enough. And if students are generally performing in the mid 300s points range in their school exams, then those students also need to have a PLC course, a post-leaving cert course, 1-year course backup that could lead them on to the degree of their choice later on. They're fantastic and everybody should be looking at them that's in the 300 point range. There are 2 lists on the CAO. There's one for level 8 courses, which is honours degrees, and there's one for level 6 and 7 courses. Those are higher certificates and ordinary level degrees. They operate independently of each other and you have 10 spaces on each list. Students get tied up in knots sometimes trying to fill out the 10 choices on each list. They don't really have to do that. It's really important that they have enough choices down and that they are covered regardless of the outcome in their leaving certificate. Once they have 2 or 3 things on the level 6 and 7 list, even sometimes 1, then I think that's enough. And it's also important to say that there are some courses that don't have equivalent level 6s and 7s. And for those then, I'd be recommending the PLC backup. Now this may be a bit controversial, but my last tip is don't be a college snob. Every day of the week, I have students and parents contacting me, asking me what other course they can put down in a certain university because they don't want to consider other ones. I just want people to be aware that just because a university doesn't have maybe one of the highest rankings, it doesn't necessarily speak to the quality of the course. The CAO points are devised based on popularity. So often courses that have a small number of places in a city centre where it's very popular are going to have higher points than courses that might be elsewhere. A lot of the time, the student experience in some of the colleges that aren't considered the best colleges to go to can be fantastic and students still get an excellent education. So for backup courses, please don't be a college snob. So to sum up, please remember, restricted courses cannot be added to the CAO after February 1st. The courses must be listed in strict order of preference. Students must research the entry requirements and the modules that are going to be on the course that they want to study. And they must have good backup courses. Remember, choose the course you want, not the college you want. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope it helps you guide your teens to do a great CAO application. And don't forget that we've also included a PDF guide that you can refer back to whenever you need.